Right now, you probably have a couple of dollars sitting in your bank account, or maybe some loose change rolling around in your car. Dollars that you don't even think about. For you, it's a complete joke. It's just the price of a cheap cup of coffee that you'll drink in 5 minutes and forget it ever existed. But let's use our imagination for a second. There are 8 billion people living on this planet right now. 8 billion completely different lives. What if, right this very second, every single one of us pitched in just $1? Boom. Suddenly, we have a massive mountain of cash sitting on our virtual table. $8 billion. It sounds like a sci-fi budget. With one simple move, we could instantly feed every starving child, build thousands of hospitals, and put a roof over the head of every single homeless person on Earth. $1, one time, and the world is saved. It sounds ridiculously simple, right? It's just basic math. So, why on earth haven't we done it yet? Why does this perfect blueprint completely fall apart in the real world? The answer is much darker than you think, and it has absolutely nothing to do with a lack of money. To understand why our perfect plan fails, we need to travel very far away from your comfortable home. Meet Amina. She is 32 years old. She lives on the outskirts of Nairobi, Kenya, and every single morning, while the clock still shows 4:30 a.m. and the streets are pitch black, she is already on her feet. She walks 5 kilometers, over 3 miles, just to get to the local market. Amina sets up her shop on a broken wooden crate, laying out her inventory. A few pounds of bruised tomatoes and some peppers. She will spend her entire day under the scorching sun, buried in dust, noise, and chaos. And if it turns out to be a lucky day, her net income will be around $2 for the whole day. And no, Amina isn't lazy. She isn't stupid. It's just that this is the absolute concrete ceiling of the reality she was born into. Now, let's make a massive leap through time and space. At that exact same second, on that exact same day in New York, a hedge fund manager steps out of a luxury car. He walks into a towering glass skyscraper, sits in his leather chair, takes a sip of a $7 coffee, and presses 3 keys on his keyboard. In the time it took him to drink that single coffee, he made more money than Amina will earn in her entire lifetime, even if she lives to be 100. And this isn't an isolated incident. Look at the data. In 2025, the official net worth of the world's richest billionaires grew by $2.5 trillion. Please, let that number sink in. That is not their total savings. That is just their raw profit in one single year. This annual bonus, split among just 3,000 people, equals all the money held by the bottom half of the human population. 4 billion people combined. And this is where our everyone gives $1 plan hits its first brick wall. For you, $1 is nothing. For Amina, $1 is half of her entire life. Giving it away means leaving her children with no dinner tonight. But even if we force the ultra-rich to give up their trillions, the magic still wouldn't happen. Let's drop the emotions for a minute and just look at the calculator. Our global dollar pool brought us $8 billion. We think that's a mountain of cash. But let's open the official reports from the United Nations. To simply solve the global hunger crisis, not cure diseases, not build schools, just put food on people's plates, it takes $93 billion every single year. Look at the chart. Our $8 billion is less than 10% of what is actually needed. This means the money we collected from every human being on Earth would keep the world fed for about 3 weeks. And after a month, people would start dying all over again. charity on this scale is like trying to put out a forest fire with a glass of water. And don't forget, over 1 billion people on Earth live in extreme poverty. For them, that $1 isn't pocket change. It's the price of their family's survival today. So, our beautiful plan shatters against hard mathematics. Does this mean humanity just doesn't have the resources? No. And this is where things get truly terrifying. The money to save the world exists. And there is a lot of it. Look at this number. Over the last decade, humanity spent $22 trillion on military defense. Let me remind you, to make sure no one on this planet starves, we need $93 billion a year. That is less than 1% of global military budgets. We have plenty of cash for tanks, missiles, and aircraft carriers, but we don't have enough for grain? Why? Because hunger is not a technical problem. Hunger is a political weapon. In most places where people are starving right now, whether it's Sudan, Somalia, or other conflict zones, the food actually exists. It's sitting in warehouses, rotting in ports, just a few miles away from starving cities. But it isn't allowed in on purpose because of sanctions, civil wars, blockades, or simply to control the population. If you take your donated dollar and send it there, it won't turn into bread. It will turn into a bribe at the customs office. It will be stolen by a local general, or it will be spent on a new box of ammunition. The system is rigged so that your empathy is blocked right at the border. But why do we, regular people, just accept this? And this brings us to the deepest secret of human nature. Psychologists at the University of Pennsylvania ran a brutal but brilliant experiment. They showed people the story of one specific 7-year-old girl from Mali named Rokia. She was starving. After reading her story, people willingly opened their wallets and donated an average of $3 each. But then they showed a second group of people the exact same girl, but added a dry statistic next to her face. There are 8 million starving children in the world. And something strange happened. The donations dropped by half. As soon as the big numbers were added, people gave less money. This is an official glitch in our brains that scientists call psychic numbing. Our brains evolved in caves, living in tribes of about 100 people. We are physically wired to feel empathy for a specific face. But when we see millions, our brain goes blind. The most frustrating part is that in 2026, researchers at Berkeley proved that to wipe out extreme poverty, we only need 0.3% of global GDP. Logistically, the world is ready. We have the technology to save everyone. But politically? Absolutely not. The people who control the trillions vote to make sure the rules of the game never change. The world isn't poor. It's uneven. And that is not a mistake of nature. It is a conscious choice made by the elites. And while we keep believing in the illusion that we can just all give $1, the system keeps working exactly the way it wants to.